All right, so today this is the 9th video in my series for Monopoly. And if you haven't been following along, that's fine. I'll put this playlist in the description, and then you can take a look at these if you don't know what I was doing before. I start all the way from rolling dice, and then I get all the way from pick a card, chance, right? So I'm going to build off of this video down here. If you don't have it or it didn't work, just go to Adding Chance Part 8. I'll put this link in the description. You click on it, hit these 3 dots, hit Edit. You will get this exact world right here, and you can start building along. All right, so we're going to add money. I'm going to use the leaderboard to display the money, and then I'm going to add leaderboard to session data, or not leaderboard to session data, the money to the session data to keep track. And then we'll update our money to test it out with these chance and community chest cards that offer money. So I'm not going to implement the actions like go to jail and stuff yet, just the payout. So if it says collect $40 for a beauty contest, you'll add your $40. So in here, let's go down to server script service and game manager. All right, here's my game manager. Let me just get rid of that blank space right here. Boom. And I'm going to add my leaderboard. So I'm going to say local function add leader board. A player will be passed in, and then I'll say local board, a local variable there, instance new folder. So leaderboards have to be either folders or models, and this is going to be the parent object, which is going to be the player. So board name must be leader stats. You can call this one whatever you want right here, but it must be leader stats if you want it to be a leaderboard. Let's see here. I just moved that up a little bit. Let's add another line for money. Instance new. It's going to be an int value, and that parent will be the board. And then we'll name that, whoops, money. So we're making money, adding it to the board, and then we're going to have a board. We're going to add it to the player. All right, now we're going to need to update that board from time to time whenever we get money or lose money. So we'll say local function update leader board. That's going to be for the player. So the player has the board on it. It's called leader stats. And leader stats has money on it. And money has a value because it's an int value. We're going to update that with session data. That's where we store all our data for our player. So we'll have the player, and then I'm going to have money right here. Now we didn't put money in session data yet. I'll get to that. Let's go all the way down to about line 124. This is where we add our player to the game. I'm going to get rid of this so we have more screen. The player added connects to the add player. So when our player gets in the game, let's add our leaderboard. And also, when the player enters the game, let's make sure we have a spot to save our money in our session data. Cool. Now, the next place we're going to have to change, we're going to modify. So if we scroll up here, we have our game loop, we have our play game, take turn. We got to get to that. We're going to get to that in a second. Prepare players. After intermission, we're going to prepare our players by initializing the session data in each one of these chunks of data for each player. And one of those initializations needs to be money, right? We have to give our player $1,500. That is the typical amount. Then let's update our leaderboard because we just gave ourselves some money. Oh, this is PLY. So I used PLY for player in this loop. Right? Don't let that throw you off. So we'll update our leaderboard for the player. Money will now be $1,500. And then here I noticed that sometimes I have trouble finding the humanoid root part before I teleport because characters take a time to assemble. I noticed that if I just get the humanoid root part by using the player character wait for child humanoid root part, that will give me a little bit of time to get the humanoid root part. Otherwise, sometimes you get an error, can't find the humanoid root part, you can't teleport, and then the game doesn't work. So let's get rid of this part here, this chunk there, put HRP in there. That's a little bit safer. We have a safeguard now. Make sure we got the humanoid root part before we teleport. All right, now cool. Now, let's try it out. Let's see if we have a leaderboard. And then let's see if it gets updated to $1,500 when we teleport to the game. So we are in our little lobby here, which I made it all in the same terrain. Let's go ahead, view output. Here's our intermissions ending. Look at that. There's our leaderboard with $1,500. Perfect. Okay, now let's go back. Oh, yep, got it. Let's go back. And in take turn, right? I put this roll to a 7 so that chance would hit every time when I was testing it in the last video. We would want to comment that out if we're playing. But I think for here, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to make it a 2 so we get community chest because there's money associated with community chest right away. All right, so we got our roll 2 and session data here. This is how we move our piece. So we move our piece. We're going to get somewhere, we're going to do something, and then we're going to get information back. Well, right now we're getting the tile back, but let's also get money back. Let's call this, what do we call it? Money change money. So whatever happened in that move, in this move piece, if there is a change in money, we want that to come back with our session data current tile. Change money. Because in Lua, you can pass back more than one value. So we're going to pass back 2 values from move piece. All right. Now, we'll get that. We get the money back. And let's update our session data for money based on our changed values. So we'll say session data, lowercase p, oh, I can't get my p, player, oh, my fingers are messing up, money, there we go, equals the old value of money plus the change amount, the change money amount. So if we had to owe money, we would subtract. If we have to, so I'll pass a negative change money. If we get money, we're just going to add it. And then because money changed, let's update our board again. Let's go here. We'll say update leaderboard for the player. Cool. All right. So now take turn. Let's go. This is going to be in board utils. Board utils is in the game board right here. I'm going to show you a cool trick. You can just click on this and look for move piece, or you can double click, right click, and then go to declaration. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? So we moved our piece. We did a lot of tweening, handled corners and stuff like that. But we get to land on tile action. Well, when we land on tile, we're not passing anything back yet, but what we want to do, let's do a change money here. Change money, there we go. So we're going to have to change land on tile action, and then we're going to pass that change money back here. Cool. Now let's double click on land on tile action, which is actually in this function or in this script. So you could just like scroll up, but I think this is pretty cool. Go to declaration. Boom, there we are. Land on tile action. And we have if the property type is community chest, if the property type is chance, and then if it's anything else, it's down here. So we need to modify our community chest table a little bit, right? Because right now, if we scroll up here, here's our community chest table, right? We just have the text that we send to the client so we could show the card. But let's make this a table of tables with more information in it. let's do a curly bracket. And then I'm going to say this is going to be the title. So it's going to be a key value pair. The title is going to be that. And the amount, pay school tax, bummer, minus 150. Right? So we're going to have a minus sign in here. Right? So we're going to change by minus 150. Comma. And then we're going to prep for our next video with the action. Right here, it's just none because we're just paying school tax. I'm going to have to put a comma right here too. Now this is going to be time consuming to make those changes. And I went ahead, this is kind of big. Let me get rid of this right here. I went ahead and put this in the description so you wouldn't have to make all these changes, but we'll look at a couple of them. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, right? Because you get the idea. So right here, like bank error in your favor, the amount was 200, the action was none. Advance to go. I think actually I'm going to make that 0, right? And then we'll have the pay when we get to the go. That's a good idea, right? So anything with an action that we have to do calculations, the amount's going to be 0. I'm going to have to do the action first. You'll notice I put like a little string in here so I know what action I need to do, like calculate houses, jail free, 50 each. That's for collect from, what is it? Grand Opera opening, collect $50 from every player for opening night seats. So I just put a little action in there. I'm going to work on that later, but you can see what I did there. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for chance. Now chance has a lot more actions. So let me go ahead and get my chance. I'll copy this. And this is in the description, so you can grab it. You don't have to type it all in. I don't think you get a lot out of typing all this in. There we go. So here the amount is 0 on a lot of these because chance is more action oriented and less payout oriented. Here's one where the amount is 150. So if we're doing no action, I just have none. And then if we're like advancing, I'll put like advance to boardwalk. I'll just put boardwalk for the action, right? We're not going to get into that, but that's all right. We'll leave that there. And that's going to make the next video a little smoother. All right, so now on my land on tile action right here, this would fail because it's expecting just one string in that table. So now I'll just do this dot title, right? Because you'll notice we have a title now. That's for the string. All right, so we got our title. I know I'm kind of scrolling everywhere. And now for the title, after the title, let's go ahead and get our money change value. I'll say local change money. We're going to get this, copy the community chest table, and then I'll do amount, right? That's what it was. It was amount, right? Yeah. All right, now we have some money there. Now here, this is good. So this is going to increment our counter through our deck. We're going to wait for the player to respond. And then when the player responds, we're going to return the change money amount. We have to do the same thing for chance, right? Chance, this is where we fire off to the client. Here's the string. It's going to make the little card pop up. This is going to be dot title right here, dot title. And we want to do something similar right here to get our change money amount. Local change money equals chance table. And then that's what? Chance index. Chance index. Oh, that's CC index. Let's just do this so we don't make any mistakes. And then dot amount. Dot amount. Cool. And likewise, this is changing all of our, we're going through our, this is the index for our table for our chance cards. When we get to our player response and they respond, we are going to return the change money amount. Now here's where a a property will be purchased, right? We're not community chest, or maybe something else like taxes and stuff. For now, let's just return 0. So we have a value going back. All right. So we have the move piece. I think we're good. Let me just take a look real quick. Yeah, let's test this out. Now, on my game manager, I hard-coded a roll value of 2. So no matter what I roll, I'm going to get a 2 because I want to check community chest, which is the second tile. And the community chest, this first value is going to have a minus 150. So we should subtract minus 150 from our leader stats. Let's go in here and let's get our output window. Here's our intermission. It's counting down. Boom. All right, let's roll. It's going to go in this community chest right here. Roll. Our little iron is going to go. Boom, pay school taxes of 150. Bummer. So we have 1,500 here. We hit OK. 350. Yeah, it worked. We're a little bit poor, but it did work. All right. And then I'll test these out to make sure it works for chance and everything too. I'm not going to publish the video before I test it. I'm sure it does though, because I've gone through this several times. Let's do something else. One other thing that I promised. This is not shuffled, right? So we always know the order. Let's do something called a Fisher-Yates shuffle routine on this table to randomize the decks for both chance and community chess. Let's see, where do I want to put it? Maybe I'll put it right under the decks. All right, and this is just an algorithm for generating a random permutation within a finite sequence. So we'll say local, space, function, shuffle. I'm going to pass in a table. I'm going to use the same function for shuffling both decks, the community chest and the chance. So we'll say local random equals random new. And this tick is milliseconds past midnight of January 1, 1970. It's considered the epoch. And it always changes, so it's going to be a seed value to give you a different random sequence every time. So I'll say for I equals the number of elements in any of these tables we pass in, going down to the second element in the table, decrementing by -1, there we go, do local, we're going to get a random value j, next int from 1 to I. So whatever we're at here on the I. So it's going to start out at the maximum element of values in the table, work its way down. We're just going to take table I, table j, and switch table j with table I. That should work. Let me make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So we're just swapping, right? Then we're going to go down, return table. Now we're going to have a shuffled deck. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go game manager. Well, we'll just do it from here. We are in game manager. Oh, we got to call these. I forgot to call them. So we got to call the shuffle so we can shuffle these. Where should we call them? I think we should call them in init board map. Right, so we're going to init our map in the beginning of the game. Go ahead and shuffle. Let's do a shuffle down here. And I'll pass in the community chest table. Shuffle. Pass in the chance table. Now we have our decks shuffled. Now we still have the hard-coded 2 for the community chest. So it's going to land on community chest. But we could see if it's the 150 or not, the -150 for the school taxes. And it still could be because it is a random shuffle. So, but there's a 1 in 15 chance that it won't, or that it would be. Yeah, you have won second place prize in a beauty contest. Collect 10. Let's check to see if that updates. Boom. Yeah, 1510. Perfect. All right, so this is cool. I will keep testing it to make sure that it's good before I push this out, probably with multiple players. And good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. And I will post all those links in the video and the data and the description and everything, so look for those.